Hey guys, Kevin from the Real Movie Guys here. Just wanted to, thank you all for your support through the channel so far. We're growing slowly, getting more views slowly every day. Things are going well, and, I'd like to thank all of you. The reason for my just drop in today is I want to dedicate this review to my father, Donald, who passed in 2013. I miss him very much, and this review. I think he would like this review. This movie, The Replacements, is one of his favorite movies. I just hope I did it justice for him. I hope you guys enjoy it too. Maybe while we're all watching it, he could be watching it too, enjoying it as well. This one goes out to him. The best father, the best man I ever knew. Enjoy the video, guys. Spoiler warning. The following discussion will contain spoilers. We recommend checking out the movie first, then coming back to hang with us. But if you don't care about that, glad to have you here. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Real Review. My name is Kevin.
And I'm John.
And we are the Real Movie Guys. On today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at The Replacements, as Real Sports Month continues, where we take a look at some of your favorite sports movies you may or may not have heard of. The Replacements is about a ragtag group of individuals that during a pro football strike, the owners hire substitute players, meaning these guys, to take over for them. So, John, I would argue that this movie is probably one of my favorite sports movies. Not saying, score-wise, but I'm saying as far as enjoyability, this is definitely like one of my favorite, especially football movies, I would say.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's one of those movies that I feel like you could watch it almost any time too, and get some kind of enjoyment out of it.
Right. And this came out 2000, so we were kind of bombarded with this genre of movie, I want to say, blazing soundtrack and, the comedy. I mean, there were a lot of comedies in the 2000s. 2000 was a big year for those blossoming comedies. And honestly, I think this movie holds up pretty well in that regard.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I agree.
We can't ignore the main star of this movie, obviously, Keanu Reeves.
We're in business now.
You're late. Car trouble.
Right, Keanu Reeves, known for, Bill and Ted fame.
Okay, wait. If you guys are really us, what number are we thinking of? 69, dudes!
Matrix. Right, I mean, this is a point in his career where he was doing a lot of romance movies, too. So this was kind of in the vein of that, or should you see that sprinkled in a little bit in this movie?
Shane Falco.
I know. I remember you from that 96 Sugar Bowl game.
Didn't anybody have anything better to do that day?
As far as acting, it's a Keanu Reeves performance. It's everything you'd expect, to the almost, I don't know if it's just that really cool guy acting to calm and collected. He's Keanu Reeves, right? I don't know if he does anything necessarily over the top special, but if you like Keanu Reeves, then you'll like him in this movie. That's really the best compliment I can give you for this guy.
You know what separates the winners from the losers, kid?
The score.
Yeah, definitely. I 100% agree. He was really good in this movie, and he plays an interesting part in this movie too. He's a main character, but he's also helped out by so many other characters in this movie. Right. I feel like it's very interesting.
Yeah, he's the main character, but I would argue this is an ensemble casting kind of movie, because I do like everybody legitimately in this movie. There's a lot of actors in this movie. You have Gene Hackman. I mean, do I have to really tell you what sports movie Gene Hackman's from at this point?
I think you do.
Hoosiers. I mean, he's the coach from Hoosiers. I mean, come on. Again, coming back to reprise his role as a great coach.
Listen up. This time tomorrow, the strike will be officially over. Now, Dallas has made a big mistake out there tonight. They haven't been afraid of you, and they should be, because you have a powerful weapon working for you. There is no tomorrow for you. And that makes you all very dangerous people!
I mean, all the performances in some way are like, I don't want to say stereotypes, but they're like, I guess you would say that they're kind of like stereotypes of characters. Like Keanu Reeves is the guy down on his luck, didn't make the league, now he's getting another chance. He's the cool guy. He really had the talent all along.
He is the best. Guy's got it all.
No. He doesn't have heart. You do.
Gene Hackman, the coach that can work with anybody, that everybody loves, and he's going to do it his own way. And then when you get into the rest of the cast of this movie, John, who are your favorite people in this movie?
Yeah, I thought Brooke Langton was really good in this movie. I thought she played his like kind of like girlfriend slash like
Well,
just
yeah.
a bar, kind of like a bar owner too.
Well,
I thought
the
she-
typical love interest, right? I mean, the girl,
Yeah.
she's, she has her roots in football from her daddy, and she shouldn't get involved with the players.
Nothing personal, Shane, but I don't date football players.
Don't blame me. Not even quarterbacks?
Especially not quarterbacks. You guys are the biggest babies of all.
The biggest babies.
Yeah.
But there's just that one player that she absolutely loves.
But really, my favorite character in this whole movie
Right.
is Nigel Gruff.
Nigel Gruff, the striker out of Cardiff, now residing in Hell's Kitchen. They call him the leg because he can kick a soccer ball the entire length of the field and score.
Who was played by Reese Ifans, I think his name is.
Gentlemen, the drinks are on the outside.
And his character, like, he's a guy who like made wrong bets and tried to rig bets and stuff, and that he was a kicker. But I don't know if for some odd reason, so he says so many funny lines in this movie that I think it's just great.
Hey, Shane Falco. I lost a ton of money on that Sugar Bowl disaster of yours. What a bloody shambles that was. You can smell the stink all the way back in Wales.
Nice meeting you.
And just the way he is in the movie, I feel like it's like an awesome, amazing part that he does.
No, I really like him too. He's definitely up there as like one of my favorite characters. I mean, he's most famously known. He's been in what was it, The Amazing Spider-Man? He played the Lizard. That was like that was one of his like big, more recent roles.
Oh, okay.
He's a great actor. I think he's funny. Every time he steals the show when he's on scene, whether it's his like witty comebacks or just his foul mouth towards the other players, it's great. And he's just the kicker, right? I mean, that's really just his role. And he's like with the team, but he's not really. He's like smoking on the field.
Ruff tried his field goal from 65 yards out. I don't know if he has enough leg. I think that guy's smoking on the field.
Smoking? I'm sure you just imagined that.
Oh, no, I saw it. I saw the smoke and everything.
Doesn't give a crap about anybody. Doesn't really train really with anybody.
I'll even say like my best part, like of like even just him being in there, and they had a big huge bar fight, and then I think he goes up to someone and he goes,
Come on, stop!
Let's play football, bitch.
and I just thought that was like a classic line, and like even just when I think they're down in the jail scene.
Right.
They're all hanging out.
Oh, amazing
And he
scene.
starts dancing and everything.
Mhm.
And they're just trying to have a good time. I feel like that's another great part of this movie where like he's an awesome character in this movie.
Well, we gotta talk about this. So, who other people in this movie? Jon Favreau is friggin' in this movie. For the longest time, I guess I didn't realize that was Jon Favreau. Being he plays Bateman, who's like he's an ex-cop. He was an ex-cop.
Daniel Bateman, SWAT team officer, awarded the Purple Heart for losing a kidney during the Gulf War.
And he's crazy. He's like headbutting people. No idea what's going on. He attacks Keanu Reeves at one point because he sees red.
Nice pop, Danny.
Thanks, Coach.
In practice, we don't hit the fellows with the red shirts on.
I know, Coach, but I see that red. I just want to go after it like a bull, you know.
He's crazy. It's just not the Jon Favreau that we all know today. He's in great shape, by the way. I could give him that too. He's great shape. He steals the show a lot for me too.
Yeah, Jon Favreau. That's the one thing about Jon Favreau and like lately Jon Favreau directing movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's been doing like a really good job, and when
Right.
he's in acting roles, I think he comes up clutch. Like he does a good job with his character, I feel like.
Right. No, he's great, and he was he was a big actor before he really stepped more into the director's chair role. We also have Orlando Jones, who was really big around the 2000s. He played Clifford Franklin. He was he was a sticky thief who could run really fast but couldn't catch anything.
What's up, man? Got Twinkies? But can he catch?
He has like that famous scene in the movie where they put glue. It makes no sense, but I forgive it because that's what this movie's going for. They put glue on his hands and he catches the ball and it gets stuck to his hands.
They put the tar
Yeah,
on his hands.
Yeah, and it's just like, what is that? Like, it's so stupid, but
They actually used to do that a lot.
really
Back
That's a
before
real
they
thing?
had.
I thought I had it, and then the ball. Hey, shut up! Give me the sticker.
I don't think it'll work. Coach, ain't that stuff illegal?
What are they gonna do? Put you in football jail?
Before they had gloves,
Mm-hmm.
they used to put stuff like sticky stuff on their hands so that when they go to catch the football,
Right.
they can catch it easier and their hands will get stuck to it.
I mean, I could see
So
that.
kind of like
I don't know about
like
this though.
kind of like the gloves are today.
Yeah.
They kind of have like they're kind of sticky in a way.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if to this extent where he's like, it looks like I.
Coach, I look like I just jacked off an elephant.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
did that.
but
Whereas,
you gotta play up the comedy, man. You really gotta play it. Also, Ace Yanarami. I can't say his name. He plays Fumiko, who is like one of my favorite characters. He was also in a lot of movies around the like that 2000 era. Nothing big. I think he was in one of the Tomb Raider movies, if I recall. I could be wrong. Have to fact check myself later. But anyway, he has like one of my favorite scenes. He just throws up. He eats raw eggs before they have a match or before they have a game.
There's my man. Having a little snacky food before the game, are you?
Thought the body's good.
You are one crazy son of a bitch. Oh, yeah. You know how I know that? Oh. Because only a crazy son of a bitch would eat eggs before a game.
Oh, post me a break. I need to bulk up. You want one?
No.
It's good for you.
And he goes out there and they're in the huddle. And he's like, well, first it starts off, they're having like a conversation, like, what do I do in the huddle? And he's like raising his hand. He's like,
If you've got something to say, raise your hand. Is that understood?
Suppose like you don't feel good or you're hurt or something.
Then tell me before the huddle starts.
what if you don't feel so good? What are you supposed to do? And Keanu Reeves is like, then you tell me, okay. He's like, all right. And then they're back in the huddle. Like,
Eggs? That's right.
he just
I don't feel so
barfs.
good.
He barfs, and everyone just freaks out.
Shane, we got to move, man. If we don't move, I'm gonna blow chow too.
We're in the huddle here. Double slot, Zach. 88 slide.
God damn. I tried to tell you, man. I can't be around somebody puking. I'll start puking.
And they have to move the huddle. They have to
they
shimmy
moved
over.
the whole huddle.
Hey, on three. Everyone move left. Ready? Hut, hut, hut.
What the hell is that?
I mean, it's just so memorable.
John, how many years we've been calling games together?
19, I think.
You ever seen anything like that?
Not on a football field.
Also, another character I'll bring up, David Denman. Johnny, I don't know if you know who this guy is. You're a fan of The Office, right?
Yes.
Okay. Remember Pam's
wait,
boyfriend?
Sounds good. Hey, helper! Hey.
Right! Right!
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he plays the deaf.
100%.
He plays Brian in the movie. He's deaf.
Where in the hell did you learn to catch like that?
When I
that is
saw him, I
interesting.
loved it too. I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it! Pam's ex-fiance." I was
Yeah, that's
cracking
so
up.
weird.
Also,
That's a hard.
Yeah,
That's got to be a hard role to play too, like a deaf character too.
I mean, I gotta be able to communicate with him and how.
Learn to sign,
Oh, horseshit.
Look at it this way. You'll never be called off sides on an audible.
No, yeah. Brett Cullen is also in this movie. He was in most recently, I'll give him. He was actually in Joker. He played Thomas Wayne. He plays with the villain of this movie. He plays the quarterback that they laid off for the team.
Yeah, Dwight, look, I know $5 million a year sounds like a lot of money, but I have to pay 10% to my agent, 5% to my lawyer. I have child support.
Do you have any idea what insurance costs in the Ferrari?
And
yeah.
he's a dick, man. He like really plays it out. He's a dick.
Shoot up! O'Neill will fire your ass!
It won't be the first time!
This is bullshit! I'm gonna put an end to this right now.
Just the way he comes across to everybody. Usually I don't, like. I mean, it's a movie and everything, but the way he comes across is so, like, asinine when they flip Keanu Reeves' car over in the movie.
Well, he's a rich, snobby-ass quarterback.
For you. Guys, move the new boy's ride for me.
Come right up, Mr. Falco. Ready, fellas? 1, 2, 3!
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it plays even more well to the story because it's that whole, like, they play for money, they don't play for the passion of the game anymore, and like he comes across, he like portrays, I would argue probably like a lot of football players are probably like today. I would argue that statement for sure.
Come and get some!
You big fatty.
This doesn't change anything, Falco. I'm an all-pro quarterback. I got 2 Super Bowl rings. And you'll never be more than a replacement player.
Yeah. Yeah, I can live with that.
All right.
My brothers, will somebody please get this asshole out of here?
Oh, hey, keep your hands off me, you gorilla! Hey, come on, guys!
Last actor I do want to bring up. Well, there's someone else too, but last actor. Another returning star that seems to be showing up on Real Movie Month, Real Sports Month. Johnny, do you know who that is? The last person I'm going to talk about? He's been in a couple of our reviews.
John Madden.
Well, no, he's in that. We're going to talk about John Madden, but he's an actor that's been showing up. This is another appearance by him. This is his 3rd appearance, guys. 3rd appearance in Real Sports Month.
Oh no!
I'll give you a second. He plays a coach in this movie. All right, I'm not gonna wait any longer. People at home are getting impatient. Art LaFleur shows up.
Art
again.
LaFleur
Shows up again. 3rd time. 3rd friggin' time. This man. I know he's like clean, and he's great in this movie. And he has some great interactions with the players. With
he's a sports movie legend, man.
Seriously, with Fumiko when he's practicing, show me what you can do, son. He like tackles the giant, the tackle dummy, and he like knocks him over, and he can't get up.
Here's the coach's point. Come on, boy. Let's see what you can do. Set.
Yes! Good hit, Super Boy! Now get this off of me!
Again, great interactions, fun times. So that's pretty much the cast of this movie, and I think the strongest thing I can compliment this whole movie, the supporting cast really brings this movie together. The story on its own, not that original, I would say. It's it's cliche to hell. I mean, I think I've seen every cliche that's in this movie. What I always like to stress, though, is when I can see a movie, even though it's using things I've seen already, if it can show the heart and bring in the overall comedy and just like make me want to see these characters, I can look past the plot to an extent, and this movie does that for me. I think the comedy nails it for the most part. There are some things that might turn people off, which we'll get into a little bit later, but overall I really do enjoy all the comedy in this movie. I like all the characters. This is what I've been stressing, I think, this whole series we've been doing on Real Sports is I want to see the characters, and this movie brings that for me. I get to bond with these characters. I get to see where they're going, how they're getting there, their camaraderie. When they're on the field, I actually feel like attached to what they're doing.
Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like it does give you a breakdown of each character too.
And not even
And
that, the camaraderie, right? I mean, you see them. I mean, it's totally cliche. They don't like each other at first, and they can't work together. These replacement players, but they get over it and they bond. They have the jail cell scene, which we, me and you, you referenced earlier, and I truly do love that scene of them just coming together. Again, a tired cliche, but again, the cast is so strong. Just even all these great actors coming together.
Yeah, that's one thing too. Like, I feel like the group of actors that they put together made these characters so much more too, and it became like a whole like group, like a family.
Right.
Like a bunch of people working for the same goal too.
Right.
And I felt like they did a good job with this movie.
Yeah. No, and then we can also add on top of that, it had a non-annoying romance plot finally in a movie. I was never really annoyed by it. It felt natural.
You're the first player I can remember who seems to care more about his teammates than he does himself. That's something that this team's been missing for a really long time. It's a good thing he did last night.
Stupid.
Thanks.
Again, it's cliche, but at the same time, it wasn't really annoying. I could feel, their chemistry, between Annabelle and Falco, Keanu Reeves and Brooke Langton. The chemistry between them was really great. I mean, they have a great scene when he goes into the bar and John Madden, which we talked about, which, again, I hate getting off topic, but John Madden's like a legendary in this movie. John Madden has some of the best quotes.
Second time tonight, a Washington player has been knocked out by his own teammate.
There's a rule in sports: don't do anything great if you can't handle the congratulations.
There is.
Yep.
John Madden is legendary in life.
Legendary in life, legendary in this movie. He just has the most outrageous. Whatever, John Madden, you live your best life. You're doing it right now. But the scene in the bar, back on topic. He narrates Falco going up to her. He narrates oh, he's going in. Is he gonna make it?
What do you do here, John?
You go for it, Pat. You have to.
But Falco's been shut down by this defense all afternoon.
It's stupid, but it's clever at the same time.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this: all it takes is one big play to get him back in the ball game.
And I really enjoy it. I do. I actually enjoyed the romance plot.
And here goes Falco.
I mean, you have the stupid oh, he stood her up at the end, but then he just makes up for it and kisses her at the end of the movie, and everything's fine.
They're playing zone out there, and I think you can pick them apart if you just keep your eyes open for secondary.
Hey, he seems to be necking with that cheerleader.
But I'm not really annoyed by it. I thought that was fine. I'm okay with it.
They live happily ever after.
I mean, it's Keanu Reeves, right? She ain't gonna say no to Keanu Reeves.
I guess she could.
I guess she could.
She could say no to John Wick.
John Wick, yeah. I think a lot of people, and like I said, I think the strongest thing is the comedy in this movie. The zero to hero story, right? We've seen so many times, but I just like that story in general. I like seeing a bunch of nobodies come together to rise above and beyond what expectations are for them. Second chances, which is a very common thing in the sports movies we've been reviewing lately too. Just seeing these people that are literally criminal. There's literally a criminal, a man in jail, playing on this team in this movie, but getting a second chance.
Shit, Earl Wilkinson, man. Oh my God, boy, you'd have been all pro if you hadn't beat up them cops and gone to jail.
What I had meant to say was allegedly beat up them cops, and because a good Christian boy like you would never do nothing like that. That's right.
There's something endearing about that story, and I think that helps everyone relate to this movie to some extent, where maybe at the time you weren't ready for something, but you overcame it and, overcame expectations of yourself. And I think that's a natural human element that everyone relates to, which is part of why people like this movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, right, we got to talk about the soundtrack. Classic.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
great songs.
Yeah, amazing soundtrack. I mean, it goes along with the next part, which I love, is the hard-hitting action. I felt like I was watching an actual NFL broadcast at times when I was watching this movie. They didn't skip a beat at all, especially with the production values for the team. I mean, you could tell on times that there probably was no crowd or whatever that. You could definitely tell that there are scenes of that, which is a common thread, I think, in sports movies. They have a hard time filling the stands for whatever reason. I guess all those extras are too expensive. But again, the action is great. I mean, there's a lot of it too. A lot of the just pure football action in this movie. Nothing too silly or over the top. I mean, you get something here and there, but for the most part, it's like watching an NFL broadcast, honestly.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Let me get into my negatives. I do have a couple. I don't want these to be... They don't impact the score too much. This is more of just letting the audience know what to expect about this movie. Some may not enjoy the outdated or crass humor. Some of it is by, I guess, today's standards. I mean, when you look at 2000 versus 20 years later, 2020, some of the humor can be probably considered somewhat almost offensive at times.
I'm trying to figure out how the Chinaman over here gets 700 pounds off of eating this shit. I'm Japanese, not Chinese. Same difference. What? It's the same difference. All that big boom loud. Nigga, please.
But, it's part of history, guys. I'm not sure what to tell you.
The Mick's right.
I'm not a Mick. I'm bloody Welsh.
Whatever.
It's in there, just so you know. Again, it can be a little crass. The puke humor, I think it's funny, personally. I can see how some people might be turned off by the immaturity level of the humor.
Ole, 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 ole. Hey, cheers, babes.
I think we got it.
Again, I think it works in this movie, so it's nothing I would, hold points over. The only thing I probably would say, my biggest negative would be it is unoriginal overall. Great movie. I do enjoy this movie, but can't really deny the fact there's not really any surprises. It's by the numbers. You know what's going to happen. It's going to happen. But I think the other elements outweigh that negativity of the unoriginal plot overall.
Yeah, I can see that too.
So I think we're at the part of the video, actually. We're going to give our score. I'm not going to wait on this. I'm going to give The Replacements an A.
I know you're tired. I know you're hurting. And I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational. But that just wouldn't be our style. Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
I really enjoy The Replacements. I think if you're to watch a football movie or any sports movie out of all the ones we reviewed, I highly recommend this for just a great laugh and a good time. Again, you're not going to get anything new. Let's put that up front. You're not going to get anything, as far as story that the story buffs are looking for. But as far as just, pure sports action, comedy, teamwork, this is the movie for you. I think you guys should check it out. John, where do you stand on this film?
I stand exactly with you this time. Right. An A.
Gentlemen, it's been an honor to share the field of battle with you. It's on one-on-one.
I feel like this movie is just even like the funny parts alone, the comedy. It's a good sports movie. Well, I mean, I know the cliche's tiring and it's the same thing over and over.
Right.
I feel like this does it in a way where it's not too much all about that. Like they throw in a little bit of comedy. They throw in a couple things here and there to make you enticed and stuff, even though you know exactly what you're getting into. But altogether, I feel like this is definitely a good movie.
Right. And again, I can't reiterate enough. I mean, if you come up to me and say, hey, I'm making a sports comedy movie, what should I be doing? I'm going to refer you to this movie. Flat out, I'm just going to refer you to The Replacements. Say, this is your model. Just, get that chemistry, get that comedy. You're going to have yourself a great movie. There's not much more to say, really.
Definitely, 100% agree.
Yeah. But all right, John, so where can the people find us at home?
You can find us at The Real Movie Guys on YouTube. Like our channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we put out videos and you can watch them. You can also find us on Twitter at The Real Movie Guy. You can hit us up, send us tweets, let us know what you thought about this movie, what you think about other movies and other content maybe you want to see from us. You can also find us on many podcast platforms such as...
Yes, for your listening pleasure, we are also available in podcast form at iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcast, Overcast, Breaker, Radio Public, and Pocket Casts. Be sure to give us a listen at any of those fine places. If you are right now, hey, we greatly appreciate it. Just search Real Movie Guys. We should pop right up. Thank you all again so much, though, for joining us for this episode of The Real Review. My name's Kevin. This guy over here, he's John. We are The Real Movie Guys. Real guys, real movies, real thoughts. Thanks again for joining us for our real sports reviews. Play the games, watch the movies. We'll see you next time.
See ya!